center of Troy University's broadcast and digital network at Troy, Alabama's international university. This is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for September 8th, 2016. I'm Jordan Elston.
And I'm Sarah Singletary. Thank you for joining us this evening. Some sad news to report tonight as we have learned that Troy City Councilwoman DeGeraldine King Henderson has died. Henderson represented District 5 on the Troy City Council. She was first elected in 2012 and had just recently been re-elected to serve again. Prior to her time on the council, Henderson was a teacher for over 33 years, retiring as a first grade teacher at Troy Elementary. She was also a Troy University alumna, earning her master's degree in elementary education from the school.
Some Louisiana flood victims will get a little extra relief courtesy of a truckload of supplies collected by Troy University student athletes. The Student Athlete Advisory Committee partnered with Troy's Christian Love Center to collect items to send to the flood victims. Rachel Wilkerson has the details.
Troy University Student Athletic Advisory Committee paired up with organizations across Troy to collect items for Louisiana flood victims. Troy's athletic director, Jeremy McClain, explains exactly what their plan was.
To fill a semi-truck, and so I think we'll have a good opportunity to do that just by looking at what's been delivered and what's been brought throughout the past week, and so I think we'll have a good opportunity to fill that semi-truck and send it to Louisiana. And
Camilla Alexander explains how the idea came about.
Well, we had started doing community service with the Christian Love Center for some years now, and I know Miss Bell, and so she was telling us that she was doing the donations with the victims of the flood in Louisiana, and we just got together with her. She had a bunch of stuff, and I just asked if she would like to partner with us, and we could help her get stuff down, and we could all collaborate with all our student athletes to be able to get more clothing.
And some say that although Troy is a small community, it feels great to be able to make an impact in another state.
I think we all have a desire to want to help when something like that happens, and we think of ourselves as a small community, and that's a great thing, but I don't think that limits our ability to be impactful, and I think this is a great example of that.
Rachel Wilkerson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The items were loaded up and taken to Louisiana this morning. Rachel went along with the donations and will be filing a report from Louisiana when the supplies are delivered.
This week, Troy University partnered with the Alabama World Affairs Council, starting a relationship which should bring some prominent global speakers to the Montgomery campus. Ryan Renfro has the details from our Montgomery News Bureau.
The Alabama World Affairs Council is one of 97 different regional World Affairs Councils in the United States.
It's a group of citizens interested in world affairs in their communities.
And this week, the Alabama World Affairs Council has partnered with Troy University to help give its students a closer look at national and global issues.
It's an opportunity for citizens throughout the country to participate in studying a variety of issues that are deemed as terribly important for that particular year.
To be globally competitive, I think you need to be globally aware. And so this is just part of the educational process for our students.
Here in Montgomery, Chancellor Hawkins says that Troy University's partnership with the Alabama World Affairs Council is a huge growth step for everyone involved, and that you could do far more in partnership than you could ever do alone.
Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. The key to better utilizing our resources would be a partnership, a way that we can take advantage of the good work of each other.
And over the next year, the council will sponsor a series of speakers in which Hawkins says will help students address these issues face to face.
Too often in Alabama, we have had to experience things from afar. This allows us to bring things close and up front.
We're hopeful that in concert with Troy, we can make this truly a World Affairs Council of Alabama.
The first speaker of the program will visit Montgomery on September 20th. In Montgomery, Ryan Renfro, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The first event in the partnership will be a speech from Ambassador Joseph Wilson on Tuesday, September 20th at 5:30 in the Gold Room of Whitley Hall on Montgomery's Troy campus. A typical ticket to go see a movie at your local movie theater may cost close to $10.
That's right, Sarah, but Troy University's Activity Council provides a less expensive way to go see the latest hit movies. Seth Hawk explains.
Let's say you wanted to go to the movies tonight and you were a little low on cash. Well, at Dollar Movie Night, All you need is one of these bad boys, and you're in.
And indeed, $1 was all that was needed to let Troy students into the Continental Cinema 6 in Troy. UAC partnered with Continental Cinema 6 to allow students to get into movies for the low price of $1.
Today we have the Dollar Movie Night, which happens on the first Wednesday of every single month throughout the whole school year.
Students came in busloads and cars to take advantage of this opportunity provided by UAC, including 2 freshmen that said they loved the deal being offered.
I think it's amazing. It's a chance for students to come out, and instead of being cooped up in your dorm, you can be out and with your friends, and you don't have to spend $1 to do it. So it's amazing.
I honestly think it's better than paying $7 to $8 for the movie, because I didn't have a lot of money, and I was like, I'm not doing anything tonight, so I decided I'd come here for $1.
According to UAC President Josie Russell, UAC has some big things planned for the upcoming year, including one event that people who went through Impact will recognize.
Next week we are going to Camp Butter and Egg, so it's the same place that all the freshmen came for Impact. Everybody has a chance to go next week to Camp Butter and Egg. We're having glow-in-the-dark zip line and laser tag and some other fun events hosted by Camp Butter and Egg.
Seth Hawk, Troy, TrojanVision News.
UAC will have Dollar Movie Night the first Wednesday of every month. Next week's UAC event will be at Camp Butter and Egg.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Good evening, Troy Cable and everyone watching on the internet. We're going to get things started here tonight with a little Trojan volleyball. The Trojans are 3-4 so far on the season and are coming off 2 straight losses to Valparaiso and New Mexico State in the Trojan Invitational. And now the Trojans focus in on this weekend's Alabama State tournament held in Montgomery. The Trojans will tip off the tournament tomorrow night against host Alabama State.
They're doing a really good job up there. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a full house on Friday night. It's a primetime match, and those are the challenges that we need to be able to kind of accept and overcome. They're a quality team. They're well coached, and we have to make sure that we have everything ready to go against them.
Friday night's game against the Hornets will begin at 6 p.m. and the Trojans will then bounce back on Saturday with a doubleheader starting off against Chicago State at noon and Savannah State at 5 p.m. And along with the volleyball team, the Trojan soccer team will also return to play tomorrow night against Mercer. Tomorrow night's game will be the 3rd road trip in a row for the Trojans. Now, first, it was a loss to UT Martin in Martin, Tennessee last Friday. Then it was a 1-0 loss to the Rebels of Ole Miss in Oxford earlier this week. And after tomorrow's game against Mercer, the Trojans will travel to Tallahassee, Florida to take on the top team in the country in Florida State. Though it may seem a plethora of time away from home, the Trojans do, in fact, boast a 4-3 record on the season. Tomorrow night's game against Mercer will begin at 6 p.m. And if volleyball and soccer isn't enough to get you excited, remember that men's golf team? You may also know them as the team that finished in first place in last year's Tiger Invitational. Or maybe you know them as the team that finished right up there at the top of the Sun Belt Conference. Head coach Matt Terry and his Trojan team are preparing for their first appearance of the 2016 season, this time in South Carolina at the Kiowa Invitational.
Kind of nice to start the toughest golf course we'll play all year. It's the toughest course in America, so we'll actually see that with the opening bell when the guys are fresh and they have seen it before. And right now we've got 4 of the same 5 in the lineup, and possibly 5 out of 5 if the last qualifying spot works just right. And we're excited to get going.
The Kiowa Invitational will begin on Monday and will last all day. If you haven't heard already, the football team is 1-0 on the season so far after having defeated Austin Peay this past Saturday by 40 points. The Trojan offense racked up a total of 706 yards on the night, with 303 of those yards being in the air, and all coming from the arms of 3 different quarterbacks. In its first home opener, the Trojan football team defeated the Governors of Austin Peay by a final score of 57-17. Quarterback Brandon Silvers led the way for the Trojan offense, completing 20 of his 27 passes for a total of 229 yards.
Brandon Silvers really managed the game well. He did not make a bad decision until late in the second quarter. I thought he managed the game well. I thought our tempo was really good when we pressed the gas. I thought he threw the ball downfield, probably better than he has at any point in his career.
It's just a great feeling to start 1-0, undefeated. You try to go 1-0 every weekend. So, it's great to start off like that.
And right behind Silvers is freshman quarterback Sawyer Smith, who on Saturday night completed all of his 7 passes for a total of 86 yards. And it was Smith whose number was called when the Trojans needed a big play.
My gut got tested a little bit there because I think we were down when he went in the game, weren't we? It was 14-13. It's kind of easy to play when the game's not in doubt, but the game was in doubt right there, and that was the best ball he's thrown.
And when Smith took the field, Silvers says there wasn't an ounce of doubt as to what would happen next.
I called it, man. It was about to be a touchdown because they were playing up, and I knew that post, supposed to be a post, but it was like a go. But I knew it was about to be a touchdown. I was so happy for that guy.
And with that guy, Sawyer Smith, and a seasoned quarterback in Brandon Silvers, the Trojans will look to keep that momentum going against their next opponent, the number 2 ranked Clemson Tigers. Saturday's game against the Clemson Tigers will kick off at 11:30 a.m.